This is my newly acquired 1997 Toyota 4Runner V6 all-wheel drive, and today we're going to be replacing the starter on it. To replace the starter, we did have to do it from the passenger side by removing the passenger front wheel and removing the under plate or the skid plate that is towards the front of the car. After doing that, we also did have to remove the plastic or rubber covering that's hiding the brake lines and the exhaust manifold and also the starter that's behind it.
Oh, you broke it.
Once that's removed, then we had to undo the brake lines from the actual subframe. It's 2 bolts, one in the front right behind the wheel and run the back near the engine. After that, we also had to remove the transmission dipstick by unbolting it from the head of the engine and then simply pulling up on it to remove it from the part that's in the transmission. Then there was 2 bolts that we had to remove, which we got from the bottom side of the passenger side of the car. These 2 bolts are holding in the actual starter. To get to these 2 bolts, we used an extension with some swivel sockets to be able to actually get to the bolts and undo them. Once the bolts were out, we were able to finally squeeze the starter through the wheel well of the passenger side. It took still a little bit of effort to get it out, but overall it was easy once you have the brake line and the dipstick out of the way. And of course, to get the new starter in is simply the reversal of taking it off. We squeeze the new starter through the wheel well. I held it in place. Once my buddy put on the bolts, and then he could finish tightening it all up and reconnecting.
Do the top one.
And before putting back the dipstick with the tube, I wiped down the part where the gasket sits and I lubed up the gasket to make sure everything was clean as possible, and that way the gasket wouldn't get damaged while we're putting it back in. The best way we found to tighten up the bolt for the dipstick for the transmission was actually through the wheel well going upwards toward it, because it was in such an angle that doing it from the engine bay didn't actually work well.
Now that we have the starter in place, before we do anything else, this thing also needed a battery, but these terminals were also crap. So we're gonna go ahead and replace these with the Duralast terminals that I got, and then we'll put a battery in that's it's new to me, it's used from him, but it works. Yep. And then we'll see if this thing starts. Yeah. Well, that's gonna bend it there, but yeah, hold on, stop.
You got side cutters in this thing?
No, those.
Other toolbox?
Yep, other toolbox.
Wheelwell says cutter Ely things on there.
Yeah. I don't know if it's going to cut
work.
that.
Or do it like that.
That's
You're right, I'm the smarter guy. You're the power guy and I'm the smarter guy.
Oh yeah?
Yeah, that's.
I'm power and smart. It's all in one.
Oh, it's all in one.
All in one package, man.
Shit, man. You're
All
too
in
much
one.
for society.
I know.
Don't give me your shit.
I know.
Don't.
I know this is not how you want to do it.
This is not.
Is this not ideal in
No.
your eyes?
This is the shittiest way you could have asked me to do something on my car.
But is it gonna work?
Probably for 2 minutes.
I think it'll work for life until we swap it over to the terminals I have, which have the actual bolt coming out and the nut that you can screw down. And
No, this is the way better terminals.
just because they're painted black and red.
They're just better in general. Yeah. God damn it.
What?
I don't like it.
Why?
If you're doing things I don't like.
Why do you want to do things the hard way?
It's the nicer way.
Okay, fine.
Sorry that I
Let's-
like-
Let's do it the nicer way later.
Yeah.
Let's get it the get working way.
You say that now.
first. It reached enough.
It's got enough tension.
Oh yeah. It's good. Good. You want me to move it?
All right, Ty. Thanks for the car. We think it's gonna start. Let's see what happens.
Woo!
Everything's good, right? Starter and everything. Here we go.
Right up.
I told you, Ty.